Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back with another banging video, baby. So, if you're new, you guys know the do. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, and join the family. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and help your girl out. In this video, guys, we're gonna talk about Tony Buzbee clapping back at Jay-Z and his legal team maneuvers to discredit him, labeling the mogul's attempt to impose sanctions and dismiss Jane Doe's lawsuit as an unprecedented attempt to silence a victim. As you guys are aware, on December 8th of 2024, Tony Buzbee amended a Sean Diddy Combs lawsuit to reflect Jay-Z as Celebrity A. In the lawsuit, this young lady basically accused Diddy and Jay-Z of awarding her at a party house when she was only 13 years old. However, there have been some stipulations around that because her father is now saying he doesn't remember driving such distance to pick her up, and Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has argued that the VMA bandit said on the over 5 hours drive back to her home, she never had or exchanged a single word with her father. And he's saying that literally doesn't make sense, because if your father had to rescue you on such a mission, it means that at some point in time, there would have been an icebreaker of a conversation. So as such, that's not adding up. Not only that, it seems as though Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has someone from the HOA team, or maybe it could be a realtor working with, because he has provided evidence in the case that the description of the driveway that the VMA bandit has given, no such driveway exists in the state of New York based on HOA rules, regulations, and guidelines. You would find something like that outside the state of New York, but not within New York, based on the time, the year, and all of that information. So they have used a time frame of a decade to confirm no such driveway exists in the state of New York. So now the battle continues, and Tony Buzbee has hired 2 new attorneys on this case. I did a beautiful breakdown of that last week. Was it? Yes, last week. But I understand that whenever you're not saying things that the mass wants to hear, you don't get your video blown up. Speaking the truth can be a lot for a lot of people to digest, because I think that what people want to hear is that Jay-Z is guilty. Even if he's not guilty, he's guilty because he's a celebrity. He was friends with Sean Diddy Combs, and not many people, have the ability to situate their feelings and their emotions to say the mere fact that Jay-Z was friends with Diddy, it shows that he's not as innocent as he wants us to believe. But in this case, there's clear indication that the allegations brought against him definitely aren't factual. Not many people know how to situate their feelings in that sense. But as time passes, I believe that people are going to realize how much of a joke this case is, because there have been so many discoveries at this point in time. And based on my understanding, Jay-Z's legal team, Alex Spiro, is now trying to get the VMA bandit friend, who she says is no longer with us. His legal team is trying to get the friend DMV history, which would help to clarify if the person had a license to drive that distance. Did the person own a car? Did the person have a job? All of that information. So basically, they're trying to come up with some discovery of details. Now, there's some additional information here that I want to add for you guys. Now, it says that based on allhiphop.com, representing Jane Doe's, we know that that's Tony Buzbee who's representing Jane Doe. And also, let me back up a bit. The 2 attorneys that he has hired, One is to represent Jane Doe because Tony Buzbee found the lawsuit in a courtroom that is not barred to practice. Many people tend to not understand that even though we have like the state of New York, there are different counties, So for example, in Jamaica, you'd have Cornwall, Middlesex, Surrey, and you would be in a parish that has two different counties, and there's a border that separates the county. It's like that. That's the best way I can explain it to you guys. These attorneys, some of them are licensed to practice in specific counties. So if the courtroom, don't look at it as, per the state, if the courtroom that he filed a lawsuit in is not covered in the county that is licensed to practice, that's a violation, of course, and Jay-Z's legal team can argue for sanctions against him, right? So Tony Buzbee realized that Alex Spiro is not the person that will be easily looking away at these things. So he has hired two attorneys, one to take the case for the VMA bandit because he doesn't want any legal sanctions against him, right? And the other attorney is to fight against the sanctions that Alex Spiro is demanding the court hold against Buzbee. I believe that as time passes and the case continues, I think it will be more of a black and white situation where more people can understand exactly why Buzbee has two new attorneys on the case, because people may not understand it because it's, again, something that is extremely unusual. Even Megan Cuniff has, basically said that it's not unusual for a client to hire additional attorneys on a case, but it's extremely unusual for a lawyer to do so. But then there was a breakdown given as to why Buzbee would take such a step. I did a video last week on it. You guys can check it out. Now, as I was saying, Tony Buzbee representing Jane Doe, who has accused Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs of sexually assaulting her when she was only 13 years old. Buzbee is pushing back against the rapper's legal team's claims of misconduct and frivolity. The Houston-based attorney says that, so basically, Tony Buzbee is saying that the rap mogul's legal team has crossed a line from defense into intimidation, accusing them of trying to derail the case by discrediting the plaintiff and her counsel. Kyder's celebrity status does not entitle him to special treatment by the courts, Buzbee stated in the filing, emphasizing the thoroughness of his investigation into the allegations. First of all, there's no thoroughness. There's no thoroughness in Buzbee's case, the VMA bandit case. We have a former prosecutor. I think the name is Nahima, if I can remember correctly, who's a former prosecutor in the state of New York, who basically said that if Buzbee had done proper work, he could have avoided a lot of the stipulations against him, and he could have avoided Jay-Z and his legal team going after him for sanctions. And Tony Buzbee had clapped back at this point, at that comment, saying that we all have nose and they smell and yada, yada, yada. I find Tony Buzbee to be somewhat arrogant. Even when he's dead wrong, he's been wrong and strong. There's nothing wrong with an attorney being political, always putting their best face and their best foot forward. Even when it seems as though they're defeated, they're going to give the public the sense that I'm not defeated. If anything, I'm stronger than ever, because that is what he's supposed to do as an attorney. But I find it highly ridiculous that, knowing that over a dozen inconsistencies have been highlighted in the case, Tony Buzbee has been caught in so many lies at this point. Like, it's really overwhelming. I haven't seen an attorney to lie this much on a case like this. You find the lies on those cases that are murder trial or bank robbery or some huge fraud cases, but not on a case like this. Tony Buzbee has been caught in numerous lies. Like, it's extremely unpleasant to see this many lies coming from him. Also, so far, he hasn't submitted that polygraph test result that he said he would have provided. At this point, we're in January, close to the end of the month, just a few days remaining, and he still hasn't provided that. So it's really disgusting to see this of Tony Buzbee. Now, the report further states that Jay-Z's lawyers argue the case is riddled with inconsistencies. That's true, pointing to NBC's coverage of the case, which raised questions about details in Jane Doe's account, including the location of the alleged assault and other contextual specifics. However, Buzbee asserts that these discrepancies are the result of trauma-induced memory lapses, a common phenomenon in survivors of sexual violence. Buzbee's not making any sense, because the truth is, if Buzbee had done his legwork, he would realize that he could have positioned the case better. He could have also eliminated the fact that such area does not exist in the state of New York. So, he's not holding up quite well. Also, he's saying trauma and memory lapse is a reason why so many inconsistencies are in the case. But how is it that there's no trauma and memory lapse in what the VMA bandit intentions were? Not only that, she named people, details, and conversation with people who were never there. That's not trauma or memory lapse. That's basically saying this individual is a blatant liar and a manipulator as well. This person is literally a criminal, and this is not an effort to silence a victim. This is Jay-Z defending himself. So Tony Buzbee has a track record of filing frivolous lawsuits. If you guys have been keeping up with the lawsuits that he has been filing against Diddy, many of them are frivolous, many of them are out, some of them are still ongoing. But when he's saying that Jay-Z thinks that he's a celebrity, just imagine you attacking someone and the person is not defending themselves. Jay-Z's going to defend himself. Jay-Z's not saying that you cannot file the lawsuit. He's just saying that if you do file a lawsuit, you have to come good, because I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to use everything to my availability to defend myself. This is just really disgusting. And I do believe that when individuals comes up with these lawsuits, saying that something happened to them when they were minors, depending on the details of the lawsuit, I do believe that the parents should be held accountable. And I do believe that, when these parents are being held accountable, it should be made known on a public scale so as to set an example and to send a strong message to other parents out there who are, refusing to go above and beyond to protect their kids, because children should be protected, kept safe, even though sometimes, no matter how good you are of a parent, kids are going to do what they want to. But once it is proven that the parents have gone above and beyond to protect that child, then no action should be taken against such parent or parents. But in the case where the people are clearly, in violation of protecting their kids, I believe that there should be, some kind of accountability given right there. But guys, that's just my take for the most part. The rest of it is just based on what has been reported, but I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? What's your take? While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share, subscribe, do everything you need to do on this video to help your girl out. Stay safe, and see you guys in the comment section. Peace.